Welcome to Sidetrack. This is your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So who are the most dangerous bad guys in all of sci-fi? Here's my top 4. First of all, you got to think about Marvel, and we got to think Thanos. He obviously wiped out half of the galaxy, for a bit at least. But the reason why he makes the list is not just because of the death toll, but because he actually doesn't believe he's the bad guy. He believes he's doing the right thing. And to be honest, you can logically argue, if you remove all compassion out of the equation, that he is actually doing the right thing. The whole speech with Gamora, when he tells her about her homeworld and how now it's a paradise where no child goes to bed hungry, really underlines and emphasizes that maybe he's got a point. In the most recent What If episodes, Thanos is a good guy. He's teamed up with a new Star-Lord, the Black Panther. And in that, he keeps telling people his plan. And everyone's like, sounds a bit like genocide. And he goes, no, it's not genocide because it's random. It's not evil. I'm not doing it because I want to. It's not personal. I'm doing it because it's for the greater good. And sometimes, just sometimes, for the greater good, do we have to do something evil? But because he actually believes he's doing what is right, and he is 110% committed to his cause, makes him very, very dangerous. Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. He obviously led the Empire into building 2 of the most destructive weapon systems the universe had ever seen, the Death Stars. And then built in random Achilles heels in both. One, an exhaust port. Still don't quite know how the torpedoes went in and down when there's an exhaust that comes out and out. But anyway, space wizards. Just built a nice big Millennium Falcon sized hole right through the middle. But we'll ignore that. These were both incredibly powerful weapons. Weapons capable of destroying, and he did destroy entire planets. But he's made this list not because of his 2 Death Stars. No, he's made the list because of the fleet of Star Destroyers he built in Rise of Skywalker. The fleet of Zyston Star Destroyers. He had hundreds of them, and each one was capable of destroying a planet. These Axiom super lasers were capable of destroying whole worlds, and he had literally hundreds of them. One of the things that's really going to mark out the really evil on this list is the desire to use those weapons. He didn't care how many people died as long as he got what he wanted. And that makes him an incredibly dangerous character. In Star Trek, we have some incredibly powerful beings. For example, the Q. In theory, if you believe the Q and what they say they're capable of, they could click us all out of existence. However, they don't actually have the desire to do it, so they're not particularly dangerous to the wider universe. They're only really dangerous to Picard and Janeway when one of them are bored. But there are creatures in Star Trek that are incredibly dangerous, and none more so than the Borg. One reason we know they're probably the most dangerous species in our galaxy is that when Q wanted to teach Picard a lesson, he clicked his fingers and sent them straight to the Borg. You want to be out here? You think you're ready? Have a look at this. That to me says the Q knew exactly what the Borg are. He knew exactly how dangerous the Borg are. And there's another episode in Voyager where he very, very clearly tells his son, Q Jr., don't provoke the Borg. Even the Q might be a little bit afraid of them. But why are they on the list? They very nearly assimilated Earth twice. It's not that they have the desire to kill. They don't really. Their motivation is not about killing, it's about assimilating. It's about power, it's about control, it's about gathering new technologies. It's about an ideal of perfection, a very twisted ideal of perfection. But the one thing that we see over and over again about the Borg is a relentlessness. We see other species that have stood up against them, successfully defeated them, but the Borg just kept coming and coming and coming, wearing down their defences, learning from each attack, developing new strategies, new weapons, and eventually overtaking almost any threat. Except for species 8472, we have seen nobody stand up clearly against the Borg. When the Federation did, the first time was through pure luck, and the second time was basically because of Picard. Given enough time, the Borg are more than capable of assimilating the entire galaxy. The most dangerous bad guy on my list, though, is Anubis from Stargate. Stargate SG-1 had some great bad guys in it, the Goa'uld being right up there. They are evil, but mainly they're incredibly selfish. And if you've got a Goa'uld that even the System Lords think is too evil for them, then you know you've got somebody that's seriously psycho. And that's what we had in Anubis. They expelled him. They tried to murder him because they thought what he wanted to do, what he did, was actually unspeakable. He was too evil for the most evil. Now, there were other bad guys in SG-1 that nearly matched. The Ori were incredibly powerful, but they didn't necessarily want to kill. They wanted to be worshipped. The Replicators, they were relentless, but again, their desire wasn't to murder. They were trying to gather new resources, gather new technologies, and learn. When we saw the nano robots, they weren't really evil, but Anubis was. He's quoted as saying, "I'm not really a bad guy. I just know what I want, and I'm more than willing to kill everything and everyone to get it." He has no remorse, no guilt. He is just single-minded, and he is powerful. After being defeated by Ra, he fled the System Lords. He went in search of ancient technology and ancient knowledge, and actually tricked his way into ascension. When the ascended beings realized what he was, they kicked him out. But they didn't kick him out fully. He was still an incorporeal form. He still had the ancient knowledge, or most of it, and he was basically unkillable. But it was his attack of Dakara that was the most terrifying. He was out there to get a super weapon, an ancient super weapon, that he knew could be reprogrammed to destroy all life in the universe. His plan was to literally kill everything and everyone and repopulate the universe with creatures or beings of his own design. And he came that close to doing it. Unlike Thanos, that believed he was doing it for the right reasons, Anubis was doing it simply because he could and he wanted to. This was an evil character throughout. And for me, the most dangerous bad guy we have ever seen in sci-fi. Thanks. If you can think of anybody else or anyone I've forgotten, please leave a comment. Tell me all about it. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. And please go join us on the SciTrek Facebook channel. The link is in the description. And finally, if you would like to buy this wonderful t-shirt being modelled by myself, and you know where the quote comes from, you can go buy them. Again, the link is in the description. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you next time.